Hello again, everyone. It is 8 o'clock at night now. My seat, I had a seat, and that lasted for about an hour and a half. And for the rest of the trip, I've been moved to the cattle car. As you can kind of see, I'm literally just sitting on the floor in the corner by the door. But it hasn't been all bad. I do have a little bit of room in my space to maneuver around it. So I have a little bit of room for my legs, and I can stand up if I want to. Now that the sun's gone down, it's not blazing hot in here. This air conditioning must not be working or something because it's just so hot. I made some friends, some just Chinese guys. They had very broken English, but together they could form sentences. And we talked about all kinds of things. They wanted to know about America. And I became something of an attraction. As far as I can see, I am the only foreigner for about 3 cars, and I'm certainly the only foreigner in the cattle car. So they think it's really strange that the rich American is sitting on the floor next to the door with all the peasants that got their tickets in the last minute. But it's fun and interesting to interact with them, to talk with them about basketball. They want to talk about basketball, and I think that's because when you work at a little stand, they train you to talk about basic basketball, to try to talk to foreigners. If I went to go try to buy shoes, and as I was waiting, the guy's like, "So, the Heat, Kobe Bryant." Yeah. Okay. And so yeah, they talked a little bit about basketball, talked about their hometowns, their girlfriends, all this stuff. Asked me about my hometowns, my girlfriends, just chat. A little bit of politics. Like every Chinese I've met, they are disappointed at their government. They see them as out-of-touch rich people. I wonder if that sounds familiar to anyone in America, having a government that wants to elect out-of-touch rich people. Anyway, so yeah, of course, every Chinese will tell you they hate the government. And they talked about Obama, and they said that they thought Obama was good, and they told me they wanted a black president of their own. I said, okay, I'm sure if America can do it, China can do it as well. But they all agreed that they hated Bush, which I don't think they knew anything about him. I think they get a lot of stuff just from TV or from maybe another foreigner they met. But they all were like, yeah, George Bush, no good, we hate him. It's like, he made mistakes, but what don't you like about him? Oh, he's just a stupid man. Okay. So, I don't know where they get their politics, but they were definitely very opinionated. But people are trying to find little corners now to kind of sleep in, put down a little bit of newspaper on the floor, try to find a place to sleep. I'll be getting into Xi'an at about 5:30 in the morning. So I will have been sitting in my cubby hole for 19 hours. 19 hours on the floor, next to the door, on a train. From the Park Hotel, from the 5-star Park Hotel, to the floor of an old Chinese train. My, how the great have fallen. It just goes to show you what an interesting time you can have in China. You really put your mind to it. AKA if you buy tickets late. But it's interesting. I like this. I would much rather be sitting on the floor chatting with a bunch of interesting people from a very different walk of life than myself, than be sleeping in one of the beds they have where all the other Americans are. And for many of them, they told me I'm the first American they've ever talked to. And people were poking their heads in when they heard there was an American. People were peeking around the corner and saying hello to me. Yeah, I felt like a little bit of a celebrity. The American one guy just wouldn't stop staring though, so it was a little bit weird. I pretended to look out the window, but he just kept staring at everything. They ask about my eyes and my eyelashes. They say, "Oh, your eyelashes are so long," and they compare their skin to my skin. It's just good fun. Well, I am. I don't know, I'm going to probably go back to reading. Got myself a little book. So I'll be doing that. But yeah, don't feel bad for me sitting here on the floor of this train. Let me see if I can give you a peek out real quick before it's a little bit longer of a video. Let's pop up. Bought a loaf of bread and a bunch of things. Try not to open the door. Nope. It is pitch black out there. We are going right through the middle of China. Yeah, Xi'an is very, very kind of central China, so we're going straight across the motherland. There wasn't much to see this morning. Just going, a lot of farms, a lot of rundown places, a lot of new places too. Even very far out, they're building high-rise buildings, brand new ones. Just a testament to China's development, I suppose. I just like watching the trains that pass us. Each train will just be carrying one thing. One train went by with car after car after car, these huge spools of wire, just all stacked into these cars. It had to be 50 cars long. So we go to these big factories that are just cranking out materials, cement and steel and wire and all that stuff, loading it onto the trains and shipping it to the rest of the world. They'll take it into Shanghai and then they'll get on a boat to the rest of it. Or somewhere else in China where it'll be turned into something else and then sent to you at Walmart. Yeah, so I'm just gonna kick back, rest my butt a little, and have a really sore butt after sitting for 19 hours on this floor. Alright, well, I always say if anything interesting happens, I'll be sure to let you know about it. It's not crowded right now, like I said, people just really dispersed, trying to find places where they could get a better seat. But earlier there was probably 10 people in this one little room. Enough for a couple to sit, most of us to stand. It's been interesting. I love this part of the interaction. Alright, well I'm sleepy. I'll talk to you all later.